All too often with a lot of TV and storytelling, we become irreverent in the way that we tell those stories, that the depth and the importance that should be there often isn't placed upon it. And I think that days like today, when we start talking about real world issues and as they relate to a world like Revolution, you start to realize that we call this science fiction. Some people, 1 in 5 people, call this non-fiction. This is their life. And how does it affect me as an actor coming into it is just the fact that you're responsible in terms of your storytelling to try and tell it in such a way that allows people to really get a good insight into what it might be like in those situations. That's something that is very, very difficult to do in terms of storytelling, but it's good to see that people like Bad Robot, in conjunction with UN Foundation, are trying.
What did you think when you first heard that the show was partnering with the United Nations?
I thought that it's a great thing. I think that the responsibility in storytelling is a great thing. I think that, as I mentioned, too often we will tell stories that affect so many people's lives and depict so many people's lives without having a true idea of what those depictions might be. And so when you've got the people of the UN coming in telling us what actually happens in those communities that don't have energy, in those communities that are war-torn and destroyed, it gives a semblance of truth in our fiction. And so I was really proud that Bad Robot did it, and I hope that they continue to do it, and I really hope that we start to see that truth echo throughout the storylines that we have at Revolution. One in particular, I guess, that you could that my character went through is the death of his wife and child in childbirth. Now, one of the things that the UN Foundation brought to the writers was the fact that in countries without energy and access to energy and electricity, mortality rates go up 70% to what we're dealing with in the Western world. I think that it's one of the figures in the South Sudan, 2,000 out of every 100,000 women die in childbirth. Now, in the Western world, through a Western lens, we'd think that would be horrific, and it would incense us. But this is happening every day, in every moment. So that's one storyline that was affected. I know that Billy's character has had a few storylines, but in general, I think that those little pops of reality in a TV show I hope that they hit home.